welcome back to Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. It's Francesca. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you like the video, go ahead and share this video with your friends and family on your story. Tag me on Instagram at Consciousful Tarot. And if you're new to the channel, as I said, I'm Francesca. I'm a Clarisentient tarot reader. I have new services. If you want to manifest love and money, go ahead and purchase my guided meditation and sound healing to manifest love and money. And if you're just looking to ease your blood pressure, gain a sense of peace and clarity, go ahead and purchase my personal Reiki healing or my guided breath work. If you want some guidance and directions and clarity on a specific matter in your life, you can go ahead and purchase a reading with me. Don't forget to click on the link in the description below. Today's video is going to be a celebrity video, specifically Jelena. I know you guys have been waiting for this. So this is a part, I believe, 4 of the Jelena reading. So let's go ahead and get a quick update on what's currently happening. So because this is a series, I'm not going to describe their purpose. If you do want to know the purpose and the meaning behind Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez spiritual connection, you can go to the first video that I posted about them a few months ago. So first I'm going to go ahead and see what's currently happening between them. Then I'm going to see specifically how Selena's thinking and feeling and how Justin is thinking and feeling. Okay guys, so if you haven't watched the recent video that I posted about 3 weeks ago, you guys have to go watch it, because everything that is happening right now is literally what I predicted that was going to happen a few weeks ago. So currently what's happening between Justin and Selena. So there's a lot going, so let's get right into it. So I do see that there's a lot of positive movement happening regarding how they feel about the connection and the practical steps that they need to take. They are headed in the right direction. They both feel that way. There's been an unexpected change in the last recent days. I'm seeing 5 to 7 days prior to the recent new moon that we just experienced on Saturday. So I'm picking up either last weekend or the beginning of last week. There was already communication. There has been communication, guys. There's been communication. And I'm seeing that there's been an interview in the sense where they both have conversed, and I'll get to that in a second. But right now they're at a space where there is still needing to be more effort required in order for Selena to give in to the connection, or for Justin to fully submit to this. But because there is energy and momentum, the energy is gaining momentum, and because there's actually movement in the connection, they are about to enter a new romantic cycle. So right now they're at a space where they have actually completely changed their mind about the possibilities for growth in this connection. Specifically Selena, she has entered a space of her faith being completely restored, but she's at a space where she wants compromise. She doesn't want to enter a dilemma. She's willing to restart the way that she perceives Justin, like give him the benefit of the doubt only if he complies to her standards and her needs. One of the needs that, you know, she is asking for is for there to be a reform, for him to basically let go of the tie that he has with Haley. Like I'm gonna get to specifically like what I see that she said to him, but she has made a clear boundary that she's not gonna associate with him socially, on a friend level, like anything, unless, or romantically, because he approached her kind of romantic, not gonna lie. She's not gonna pay attention unless he addresses this, you know what I mean? And the thing is that she didn't even have to give him an ultimatum or say anything. Justin already has basically confessed to Selena that he's stuck when it comes to this divorce with Haley, but he's already thinking about it. So he has already mentioned that he is wanting to get a divorce with Haley to Selena. And he mentioned this kind of like trying to just talk to her as a friend, because I'm seeing at first he kind of like just approached her with communication as a friend. He really was just wanting to see how she would react to his communication, how she would receive him. Okay, and she received him Kind of good. She definitely was not as sweet as she usually would. She was a little bit bitter. She was very candid and honest, very detached. And this made him want to come in more with more information, more expression, more venting. And he did. He vented a lot. Oh, did he vent? And it's like he was talking to her as a friend, very happy when he was conversing with her. But this conversation happened so fast. I mean, I see like they talked for a while, but like the way that it happened, it was just so out of nowhere, so impulsive of Justin to do so. The way that he did it, like he just went for it, guys. And it completely has shattered the doubts that Selena has had in the past. And then I do see that Justin was talking a little bit bad about Haley, unfortunately. So this made Selena also question, like, hey, like she knows that Justin has these negative feelings towards Haley and is wanting divorce, but then she's also like, why are you coming at me with all of this? You know, like Selena was really trying to get to the bottom of it. So she's at a space where she's actually wanting a healthy, well-balanced connection and not wanting to be a part of any sort of dilemma or problem. So Justin reached out to her because he's just wanting to let her know that, hey, I care. Wants to let her know everything that's happening in his life, wanting to know that he's wanting to move on. Because Justin was at a space where like he felt a lot of pressure. He felt like time was running out. So it's like he's addressing this heart-to-heart issue with Selena, so she doesn't give up on him. But now Selena is actually giving him, in a sense, kind of like a cold shoulder to reinforce him, almost to put more pressure on him to do what needs to be done. And when they were communicating, I do see that Justin got rejected by Selena when it came to Justin flirting with her. So Justin could have been like, oh, you're looking like good, like complimenting her, like trying to be kind of sexy. And Selena was not having it. You know, she was just like wanting there to be fairness and justice, and for Justin to do the right thing, basically. So he has also mentioned the fact that there is going to be a relocation, and that potentially he's not going to be moving, that Haley may be moving. And then it's like everything that I've been seeing is kind of like coming to light. So I really hope we get evidence of this. But it's like he's telling Selena that he's going to take the opportunity to address the divorce conversation with Haley when she moves. Or he's taking this opportunity to go for it, to have this conversation like, hey, we need to divorce. But long story short, there has been a major news cycle that has opened up between Justin Bieber and Selena. It has Justin Bieber feeling very hesitant when it comes to how he's going to move forward. He's very scared. He knows that he needs to be very mature, rational, and just very discerning when it comes to expressing himself. He knows that Selena is really not going to be involved in his life unless he completely ends this cycle with Haley. And I do see that Selena definitely has mentioned something like that. So now it's just a matter of Justin understanding that like there's no reason to like doubt that Selena wouldn't want anything with him. But then he's also at a space where there's a lot of standards that he needs to adhere to. There's a strong moral compass that he needs to go by, and it's a little bit out of his comfort zone, okay? It's a little bit like of a new territory for him, but he's willing to be honest, and he's willing to lead with his morals. So I am seeing that very soon we're going to be seeing a major transformation in Justin's love life. And this may come as a sudden surprise for many people, but what's happening right now is that there's a major desire for there to be a change in this connection. And Justin is fueled with a lot of courage right now, and I don't see anything stopping him but manipulation, you know? So it is a strong weight that he is carrying when it comes to needing to actually complete this divorce. But he's just so happy that he has finally talk to Selena, even though it's not the outcome he wanted, even though he didn't get the response he initially wanted from her. He's at a space where he understands, like, okay, well, she's adhering to her values and I have to meet her needs if I actually really want her in my life, or if I want her to be, you know, my new partner in the future. But I'm seeing like Selena made it very clear, like there's not certainty that she's going to be available. You know what I mean? Like, she was nice to respond, but let's go ahead and see how she's thinking and feeling and what has. Okay, Star fans, so let's go ahead and see how Selena Gomez is thinking and feeling about the connection with her and Justin and what's going on with her. So currently she's actually in the mixture of feeling very excited, okay? Very excited, but also feeling kind of gripped down by the waiting process, and then having a little bit of doubts when it comes to if Justin is actually going to be able to follow through with what he's saying he wants to follow through with. So she's very excited because she does feel as though all her doubts have been dissolved, and she's kind of like getting restored with the faith that, hey, maybe we can get back into a relationship. Hey, maybe Justin and I will eventually get married. Like, her fantasy is almost coming to life right now, but then there's not much clarity that she has had, because there's still a level of uncertainty of whether or not he's actually going to follow through with the divorce. So in this recent conversation that they've had, I do see that she had her standards very high, and her boundaries were set very firmly, to the point where it was kind of hard for Justin to break her demeanor or break her serious nature regarding keeping a wall between them, because she wasn't like comfortable to drop her guard or give him 100% access to her heart, because first of all, like, you know, she's wanting to lead with her morals, and she knows that he's still involved with Haley, like literally legally married. And then she also was at a space where, like, you can't just abandon me for this long and then expect me to, you know, welcome you in so easily. So she's at a space where she relied on this conversation that they just had as a way to help her restore her faith, and her faith has been restored. But then she's also at a space where she's like, there's still a lot in the way, you know. She's at a space where she's seeing, okay, well, he's still holding on to his past. There's still a lot of tough lessons that are needing to be faced. So she's at a space where she's like trying to let go of the codependency of needing to know, right? Relying on his communication to give her a sense of relief. So Selena does feel kind of weighed down by this connection at this moment, because she kind of like regrets having this conversation. And as much as like she was happy and filled with a lot of desire when they communicated, she's kind of like in regret, because she's like, man, I don't know if I should have done that. Like, you know, like she's a good girl, so she's just thinking about everyone in the picture, you know what I mean? And she just doesn't want drama. She doesn't want there to be gossip. She doesn't want to be a victim of gossip. But right now she's at a space where she's like really looking at the past between her and Justin, and realizing, okay, well, if he's married to someone and he's been communicating with me ever since they've been married, what are the odds that he won't contact someone when I'm with him? You know, those are her thoughts. Like, she's like yeah, really excited about a potential reconciliation and then building something new again. But then there's also this realistic thoughts and belief that's penetrating through her fantasy, that's making her realize, what if this will just be a repeat of the past? What if he does operate in ego and he doesn't learn from the past? What if he hasn't evolved and he's just coming back to me because now he's over her? You know, like, these are thoughts that are going through her mind, and it's making her kind of like release her programming, release the conditioning of like feeling stuck on Justin. And now that she finally has received what she wanted, which was him reaching out to her after a few months, she's at a space where she's like no longer wanting to allow him to just come in and then expect for her to just give him access to her. So she's like learning from this recent communication and trying not to take things negatively. She's really trying to nurture herself right now. She's really in a waiting period where she's actually like waiting to see what he's gonna do next, because he hasn't communicated with her since this recent conversation, which was probably a few days ago or a week ago. So the fact that he hasn't communicated, it's been a few days, even though that's not that long, she's at a space where she's like feeling stuck again. And she hasn't been in this space in a long time, like possibly not since like the beginning of the year, you know, or March, I'm picking up. So it's like the fact that she hasn't been in this energy, and now she's feeling suffocated again by the codependency and like this neediness. It's like it's kind of making her feel gripped, and she's almost in a way wanting to escape. She's wanting to escape just the fantasy of him, the idea of him. She's just wanting to escape. So I see her like potentially wanting to have sex with other guys right now. I'm not gonna lie, like wanting to utilize other men as a way to actually escape from this. But then it's also like this is helping her evolve this neediness, this feeling of unworthiness that only Justin really triggers. Like not many people trigger her feeling of unworthiness, but Justin does. And because they are twin flames, he has a strong hold on her. So she's in a way trying to release the unhealthy attachment that she kind of carries this connection with, and it's making her feel like it's easier and safer to reintroduce him back into her life as she releases this unhealthy attachment. But she still doesn't trust Justin. Okay, everything that he said to her in this recent conversation, she kind of took it with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna lie, and she feels as though just because he can contact her or she can allow him to contact him doesn't mean she should. She's at a space where she's actually like looking at the fact that that there's been like this heavy obsession with this connection. And it's like now that he has communicated with her, it's like something has snapped that obsession, like this fantasy. And as I mentioned, guys, she's seeing things more realistically. So she's in a space where she's like still wanting to heal this connection, still wanting to give this another shot in the future. But then she's kind of like trying to find certainty, like, is Justin actually gonna move forward with this? And then she's like thinking in her head, like, this is something that he's never done. Like it's hard for him to be honest. It's hard for him to lead with the truth because he hasn't done that like ever since she's known him. So she's like hopeful yet a little doubtful, you know. But she's also at a space where she's open to receiving any sort of offer that Justin has to make, as long as he's divorcing her. And she's relying heavily on what she's going to see online, okay, as a way to confirm that he is evolving and he is going to enter this next chapter in his life, and he is going to transcend the obstacles of his karma and his past, aka Haley, so he could actually come forward pure-heartedly towards Selena, because that's what she's looking for. She's looking for pure-hearted communications, pure intentions, so she can feel as though she can trust Justin. Until then, she's going to be filled with anxiety, she's going to be filled with fear, and she's just going to be filled with doubt. I do see her kind of utilizing, as I mentioned, other men as a way to cope with the waiting process. But in the process, she's taking care of herself, she's working out, she's eating the right foods. Like I'm seeing her eating like a lot of greens, a lot of salad. She may be also consuming like herbs to lose weight. I don't know exactly what that is, but I do see her doing a lot of things to like enhance her sexual desire. Okay, so regarding also this conversation that they recently had, Justin could have tried to like literally like seduce Selena, compliment her, like say all these things to make them feel this intense passion. And ever since they had this conversation, Selena has been like super let's just say in the mood. And And it has her like feeling like, oh, like so like frustrated, you know, like sexually frustrated, because she's like, she does not get satisfied with many people, and Justin is someone that can really satisfy her. So it's like she wants it so bad, but then she's also at a point where she feels so restricted. So like I said, guys, she's at a space where she's relying heavily on his next communication and on what she's gonna see on social media. She feels as though if she sees him posting about her, she knows that it's definitely not him posting. She's coming to the conclusion that if he is posting about her, that is not her, that is not Justin posting. That's either her posting or Justin's team posting Haley. But she is well aware that something with his social media is off. Like someone's either controlling his social media, or whatever he's posting about him and Haley in the recent past has not been Justin deliberately posting it. And she's beginning to see like, wait, there's a lot more deception that she's aware of. You know, there's a lot more things that Haley may be doing that Selena's unaware of. So she's actually like investigating. She's talking to her friends, like, you know, like Selena keeps replaying the conversation that Justin and her had, and it's making her come to this conclusion like, hey, he actually really wants to reconcile. Hey, he actually still loves me. Like, why is he still holding on? So she's in a space where she's no longer trying to operate out of fear, and she's kind of like obstructing these doubts that she has had. But then, as I mentioned, guys, she's still trying to let go of the codependency, because this connection has a heavy influence over her well-being and her confidence, and she can't afford to go back in time and fall a victim to the uncertainty of this connection. So rest assured, there's a lot of fated events occurring between them, and this is incredible. Let's go ahead and see how Justin is thinking. Okay, my star fans, let's go ahead and move forward to how Justin is thinking and feeling about the connection between him and Selena. Guys, I'm not even playing. He is obsessed. He is completely obsessed. You guys know that song by Mariah Carey? Why are you so obsessed with me? Oh my God, he is obsessed. Guys, this is not even okay. This energy is so intense. So the last time they had the conversation, like they conversed a few days ago, they couldn't stop smiling and laughing. Like that's all I've been doing during this reading, because that's how they were. It's like Justin felt as though it wasn't real to hear Selena talk to him like directly. He felt as though he was dreaming. Selena felt as though she was also like in another dimension, like completely surreal. It was just so divine, guys. Anyway, so he is under so much pressure to become single. Like he is wanting to be single already. He's at this space where he's about to make a spontaneous move. Right now he's at a space where he knows that he needs to be authentic. He needs to show society, Haley, the world, his true colors about who he loves, what he wants. There's a lot of factors that are playing a role in him not moving forward with this quickly. A lot of it has to do with the legalities, his finances, and also how his reputation or his personal image may be in jeopardy if he were to make this sudden change. So he's very aware that he can't just gamble everything, because not only will he get a lot of hate for it, but he's also going to look like a hypocrite. So he's at a space where he's just thinking about, I need to be single. I need to be single. God, chance, destiny, everything is pushing him to be single. He feels as though it's fated to pursue this love with Selena. But he's at a space where he just wants to get all the responsibility of being attached to Haley off of him. So he's at a space where, okay, so there's a few things that are happening. So the way that he thinks and feels about Selena right now and how he's perceiving the situation is that he feels as though there's a lot of fear of abandonment going on. There's a lot of hot and cold energy, because when Selena and him had this recent conversation, as I mentioned, Selena didn't give him much certainty of there being a chance with them. Even though she kind of did, she didn't say it very clearly. She wasn't assertive. You know what I mean? She also didn't put her feelings on the line at all. So he's still very like confused about how she feels, even though he knows intuitively, you know, they both love each other. He's at a space where he may feel as though he is being seen as a manipulator by Selena. He also feels as though the love is unrequited, but that's just what his mind is telling him because she's not being direct. But he's also at a space where he's seeing himself, okay, as this manipulator and as this heartbreaker, and he's understanding her perspective as to why she's actually not being forthright or straightforward. And this is making him ease his perspective on how he thinks she should respond to him, right? Such as being assertive and like chasing him and adoring him, you know what I mean? So he's at a space where, because she didn't give him so much certainty, he's at a space where he's actually wanting to now come out of his comfort zone to pursue her. There's a lot of thrill that he's feeling. There's a lot of this desire to chase, you know, like he's in the thrill of the chase right now. And what's fueling him is the desire to know that Selena still loves him. The desire to know that there is a second chance at this, that he'll be able to attain this. So he's very triggered, like I said, because there is this dynamic of him fearing intimacy, because he does feel as though emotionally Selena has abandoned him. And this is making him have sleepless nights. It's making him go through worst case scenario, excessive worrying in his mind. But because he's so in love with her, guys, he's willing to release the control that he has over this connection, the control that he has when it came to limiting this connection. So he's willing to let go of the current family, the current marriage that he has, in order to actually gain stability and dependability with Selena. So he's actually very connected right now to source. I feel like Justin is either directly connected with a healer or with like a priest. He's going through like a different kind of therapy, guys. It's not like a psychologist. No, it's like deep introspective therapy, like psychoanalysis kind of stuff. Like whoever he's talking to is really helping him, let's just say. And I am seeing that they're literally telling him that he's gonna have to make a gamble, that he's gonna have to risk one thing that he feels is right in order to achieve what feels right, you know? So just because something is right by the book doesn't mean that it's right in your heart. You know, like there's a lot of things that are right by the book, such as like killing animals and selling them. But in our heart, a lot of us know and feel that we shouldn't eat them. Those are our friends. But you know, that's just like an example. The point is, my friends, is that he's at a space where he realizes that he can no longer wait. He can no longer stalk. He can no longer gaslight Selena, and he can't gaslight Haley. He's already revealed himself, and he's under a lot of pressure. He does feel as though there's a deadline to become single. He feels like as though the deadline is literally in September, because he feels as though Selena's literally just not going to care anymore. And he really feels as though it's time. So he's at a space where he's beginning to take control of his destiny. And as he takes control of his destiny, he's taking his financial matters into his own hands. And he's beginning to move forward with the process of having the conversation with Haley about divorce. And he's beginning to also acquire the necessary legalities and the authority in order to move forward with this process. He's under a lot of thrill, as I mentioned, and this thrill is being fueled with the adoration and the enchantment and true love that he feels for Selena, and this is going to make him actually move forward. He's also at a space where he's also prioritizing his self-worth, and he's realizing that he based his self-worth a lot on how people see him in society, and he realizes that he's not being seen for who he truly is, my friends. And this makes him feel like a fraud. Like it makes him feel like imposter syndrome. And as he goes through this realization that he actually may be an imposter, okay, it actually kind of makes him sick to his stomach. So this is kind of like the time that he's taking to heal, to focus on himself, to do the shadow work, to look at the deep, deep parts of himself that were inauthentic to many people, not only Haley and Selena. So he's at a space where he's going through a very tough, process of elimination. He's letting go. He's transitioning out of this old identity, out of this old way of conditioning, out of this player tendency, out of this arrogance, right? And he's looking at himself, and in himself he sees Selena, and in Selena he sees his dream, he sees his destiny, he sees his serenity. She is his world. And the more that he begins to really surrender, right, the more that he actually feels God. He feels like God is with him. He feels the divine is with him. And the closer he gets to Selena, like what he just did now, conversing with her, he feels more like himself. He feels more who he is. So it's like Selena is literally making him remember who he is. And all he's doing is communicating with her. It's like he's coming back home to her, literally, guys. So it's like, now that he felt this, right? Like this remembrance of who he is, this reminder, this inspiration, because he's very inspired right now to be himself. He's remembering the divinity of this connection. And it's just making so much sense to him, guys. Like, this is beautiful. And yeah, he may be a little bit impatient because he knows that, he has to live in the present moment right now. And there's a lot of legalities that play a factor in the timing. But he's surrendering, my friends. He's completely surrendering. And I don't see anything stopping him. And he's seen a lot of signs as well about Selena. Like a lot of number patterns, signs. Things that are just confirming more that this is a destined fate and soul bond. And this connection is an infinite soul bond. And it is his true love. And as much as he tries to bury his head in the sand, it's just not going to happen. And that's it. He has reached this level of achievement where he has found his sense of belonging with Selena. And he has mental understanding, emotional understanding, and a spiritual understanding that this is it. So now all he's doing is that he's allowing the process to continue. And he is he's going to follow through with this divorce, guys. I see him being single. And this is going to be, let me go ahead and confirm a timeline when we do see him being single. I know that I did say that we won't see him being single until like October, November, and hopefully that's not the case. But I am seeing that potentially within the next 2 weeks. Potentially, guys. Things can always change, but it's definitely like a now kind of moment. It's kind of happening now. And overall, this is just very excited energy. It's very like epiphanal. Like he is going through a major epiphany. If you guys don't know what an epiphany is just basically something or a belief, a sudden change that happens within you that completely changes the course of your perception and how you feel about yourself and even your identity. So it's like this is a moment of crisis for him, but it's a good crisis because he knows he's going in the right direction. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just very beautiful energy. I'm very excited to see what happens. And for those of you that enjoy the reading, go ahead and click on that like button and go ahead and share this video with your friends and family. If you can prove to me that you got 5 people to subscribe to my channel, I will gift you either a guided meditation or a sound healing. And if you can prove to me that you got 10 people to subscribe to me, I will give you a full 1 question free reading. So go ahead, do your guys' best. I really appreciate you guys for watching my channel, and see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye, star friends. Don't forget to subscribe.